Hey, what's up, ghouls and gals? Today we are on the second summer camp horror movie review of the week, and today we are talking about another film from 1981, and that is Madman, a film that its physical media eludes me. I have been searching for so long for this specific film on VHS specifically, and I have not been able to find it. I love this film. I love Madman Marz, so let's get into it. If you enjoyed this video, please go ahead and give this a thumbs up. Subscribe for more. Check out all of my links down below if you would like to see any more of me or support the channel any further. Next month's theme is Shark Week, obviously. And there is definitely a multitude of shark horror films for us to talk about. But for now, let's dive into Madman. This is directed by Joe Giannone. This is about an hour and a half long and came out on October 30th, 1981. Let me know if you share a birthday with this film. Madman Marz, an old folklore legend who murdered his family before escaping into the woods, is inadvertently summoned to a campsite to finish the spree he started decades ago. Does that sound familiar? Madman was also supposed to have cropsy legends just like The Burning that we just talked about, but that went into production first, so they had to pivot. And that is where Madman Marz was born, a totally fictional character with coincidentally the same backstory as Cropsy. Now, this was shot off season in a real summer camp in East Hampton, New York, and the whole cast stayed together for real, and it did feel like a real summer camp. They operated it like an actual place where they were staying, like an actual summer camp. It must have been so fun to film a movie and stay at a summer camp and just, I don't know, you're not there for summer camp, but you are, but at the same time you're making a really fun film. The practical effects and special effects were done creatively and strategically on a shoestring budget, which I love. Including kills with axes, hangings, and even the hot tub decapitation scene, which we will get more into. But before I get any further, let me just take a quick second to thank my patrons for supporting the channel. If you would like to check out my Patreon, I have been trying to treat it as an accessible horror catalog. So if you are looking to expand your horror knowledge, definitely check out my Patreon. I have a whack of films up there for free and under my $2 tier. If you would like to just watch some movies, have a movie night, and support me in the same token there, go ahead and check out my Patreon, and thank you always to my patrons for supporting the channel. So let's talk a little more about Madman. At a secluded summer camp, a group of counselors gather around a campfire to share scary stories, as you do, until one of them foolishly shouts the name Madman Marz, a local legend who was said to have murdered his family with an axe before disappearing into the woods. The tale warns that calling his name above a whisper will bring him back, and of course, that's exactly what happens. One by one, the counselors are stalked and gruesomely killed by the hulking madman who emerges from the forest, wielding his trusty axe and appetite for blood. And of course, they changed the weapon. In The Burning, it was the garden shears, and in this, it's an axe. But as I said, hulking madman Paul Ehlers, the man who played Madman Marz, he was 6'4" in real life. He had to endure hours of prosthetics and makeup and spent most of his time on set just like stomping around in his costume in the freezing cold because, like I mentioned, they shot this off season. In real life, Paul Ehlers was actually an illustrator, and he had never acted before. This was his first role. The infamous hot tub scene was shot in slow motion without telling any of the actors. The dreamy, surreal hot tub seduction scene was filmed at regular speed, but the director later on decided to slow it down to feel more hypnotic and eerie, but it ended up being so iconic for being so wildly, unintentionally awkward. If you have seen the film, you know. And speaking of Paul Ehlers being an illustrator, there is a 2017 follow-up comic book created by his son. It's titled Madman, the comic book sequel, and it continues the Madman Marz mythos while introducing more updated and modern kills and continuing that story, and I think it's so cool. I have the Ash vs. Evil Dead comics. I found those. I was so lucky to find those, and now I'm on the hunt for the Madman comics. The title for the film initially was supposed to be Madman Marz, but test audiences found it to be a little clunky, so they cut the Marz and just called it Madman. And going back to the special effects, the FX team had to rely on fake rubber heads, fake blood tubes, and lighting tricks, special lighting tricks to hide budget constraints. And I think in a lot of places they did a really good job. But unfortunately, Madman was released around the same time as Friday the 13th Part 2, Slumber Party Massacre, and The Burning. So it did kind of fly under the radar, but I feel personally with the release of In Search of Darkness and also with the accessibility of movies on Tubi, I feel like Madman has found a whole new audience. Madman Marz definitely lands himself in with the silent brute subgenre with the greats like Jason and even Victor Crowley. And I know it's not necessarily a camping outside horror movie, but obviously Michael Myers is one of the silent brutes. So let me know your thoughts on Madman in the comment. I almost said comics. Let me know your thoughts on Madman in the comments. Have you seen this film? Which do you prefer? Did you like The Burning better? Did you like Madman better? I definitely like them both. I think the same because they have a very similar story and I think they make a really great double feature. And before I go, I'd like to put another movie on your radar. Alex and I just finally watched Marshmallow last night. I talked about it in my top 10 summer camp horror movie list. It was just recently released. I think it's on VOD right now. It was so surprising. It is probably one of the best summer camp films I've seen in a long time. I cannot say any more than that. You have to go into it as blind as possible. It rocks. So I'll leave you there. I will see you so soon in the next video. I think our next video will finally be some more Tubi recommendations. So I'll see you then. Sayonara, spooky fam.